We actually hit a high of 530 earlier this back during the summer, so doesn't have to go all the way back to the summer highs, but I still think we've got some decent upside. I think this report, is a step in the right direction. Certainly, the comp story may be a little light, but the earnings story is well underway, and I think the story too also is that margins actually were significantly better than expected. It wasn't just food costs that are lower. I mean, we were talking before about avocados. It was a pretty broad-based decline in prices. But the thing to note, too, is that the restaurant-level margins, particularly, they're keeping labor costs under control, even with wages going up significantly across the industry. So I think hats off to Brian Niccol on that regard.
Innovative offerings. What's he changed? The queso offering was underwhelming, was it not?
It was, but it actually contributed to ticket about a year ago, and that was probably part of the reason why the comps this quarter, you're lapping the year ago launch of queso. But what I think is going to be interesting is that we see 4 pillars for revenue growth in the next 12 to 18 months. It'll be focused on digital. It'll be focused on the off-premise. It'll be focused on having day part expansion. That is to say, extending the number of hours that you could offer Chipotle, like having late afternoon snacks or late evening snacks. And the other thing to know is that they're testing a loyalty program. So if you put all that together, think of what happened with Panera a few years back with their Panera 2.0. We would call this Chipotle 2.0.
So when you're saying digital, what is that? That's my ordering it on my phone and walking in and picking it up, or that seems to where a lot of restaurants are going.
Great question. That implies ordering from your mobile device or through your tablet or your PC. That accounts for now 11% of total sales, and it's growing by about 1% per quarter, which is, I think, is a really astounding growth rate. And particularly, we note the core audience for Chipotle. It's Gen Y, it's Gen Z. They're the ones who are most tied to technology.
That's Joe. That's guys like Joe, right?
Exactly.
I'm a taco. They need to get less millennial for me. I think I need stuff that's more unhealthy, tastes better. I mean, do they have? Weren't they going to introduce quesadillas? Did they do that?
Well, that's in test right now. If you go a few miles south of us right now, there's a test kitchen. You can see some of the different items that Chipotle is offering right now. They're testing nachos. I think you might be interested in that.
Nachos? Yes. They don't have nachos?
They don't, but
you're pointing at me like
do this. I know.
You're pointing at me like there's something wrong with my thinking. They don't have nachos.
Too, yeah.
They don't have nachos.
No, so
Brian Niccol was a godsend. He's a godsend. I might, huh?
Well, you put together.
They had salmonella, but not nachos.
So the nachos, yeah. You don't have salmonella.
Actually, interesting you mentioned that. They did have a health scare
in Ohio. They took it
in Ohio, but you can imagine if you look at the comp story, they grew past that pretty quickly, and I think they had a more rapid response.
Have they ever recovered from the broader issues? I mean, is that
still dealing? I think.
Well, yeah,
almost.
It's going to be some time. But you remember, Taco Bell too had their own concern about food safety about a decade ago, and they're taking some of that experience over to Chipotle. So I think that's also
in terms of centralized
sourcing
of food, yeah, and being able to control it better.
I think so at this point.